The Tarviran podcast is a production of the We Can Make This Work Probably network. Please check out more of our shows at www.probablywork.com.
Have you ever tried eating a corned beef sandwich in zero gravity?
Are you a veteran of the Great Emu War of 1932?
Do you long for a simpler time when the world's greatest global crisis involved horse manure?
If the answer to any of these questions was no, then we have the podcast for you.
Epic Fails of History.
A podcast that delves into the most epic fails of, history.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We've had a problem here.
Epic fails of history.
Subscribe today on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We've got more random tales of fail coming your way, so stay tuned for more epic fails of history.
Rejoice ye one and all, as the dragon has returned for Season 2 of the Tarviran podcast. Please join Rich Arbara, Rob Alfor, and Bill Culfrane as they take on the epic fantasy series of the Wheel of Time. This season is dedicated to the Great Hunt, so join us as we go on a mystical adventure following the travels of the great Horn of Valair in this season of the Tarviran podcast.
Good morrow, my young asshats. Nothing like starting off an episode by insulting all of your listeners. Hello everybody, it's me, it's Bill, and yes, I am sorry for the delay in this week's episode. It is entirely my fault, okay? Because whoever in the world has to remember that the UK daylight savings times and the US daylight saving times are a week different. Okay, I forget this every year. I'm sure this is like my third or fourth year podcasting with Americans, and yeah, I forget it every single bloody year that my clocks change, and then I'm an hour closer to you guys. So suddenly my normal slot that I leave open with Rob, I try and get this out in my lunch break, suddenly end up right bang smack in the middle of my work. And I was just too busy all week to actually, move my lunch around so that I could actually record with the fella. So apologies to Rob, apologies to you guys, apologies to everyone. This is going to be a slightly delayed episode. But how's it all going? How's the Wheel of Time? Who knows? Well, I don't. I've been too bloody busy. From a personal point of view, and I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but I did pass a Microsoft exam this week. Yeah, there we go. So for anyone who's ever taken a Microsoft exam, you know what I've gone through. And the studying I've had to do, and so that's kind of another reason why I've been a bit flim-flam recently and not been quite on the top of my podcasting game as it was. But yeah, that is now behind me. It is slapped on my back forever. Bill Gates is literally on a plane ready to tattoo that on my back so that he knows I'm one of his minions. And poor old world. I mean, to put up with people like me learning how to use Microsoft products. Anyway, guys, we have a delight this week because we actually have an iTunes review. Oh, yes, people, you don't have to listen to Bill Zig singing Mother. Oh, God, you lucky people. So let's have it, shall we? This week's iTunes review. So the person you all have to thank this week for saving your ears is Matok90, MDOC90, via Apple Podcasts in the United States of God damn it, America. I hope he's from I hope he's from the state of West by God, Virginia. Anyway, and the review is entitled "A Wrinkle in the Pattern." And 5-star as well. Thank you very much. You three have been a really great inspiration to me through what has been for all of us a very difficult time, namely this pandemic season. Hey, it is the season to be pandemic. That has descended upon us. I'm so glad you are back from your hiatus. Yes, sorry about that, and sorry for the impromptu 4-day hiatus you've all had to experience as well. You've been a positive wrinkle in the pattern for all of your listeners' lives. God bless. Thanks again. Aww. Oh, that's probably one of the nicest reviews we've ever had. No one you didn't dick on us at all. Yeah, cheers for that. You know, I like not being dicked on. Rob, do you like being dicked on? Oh yeah, sorry, you're not here, are you? I'm sure you'll try and wrinkle your way into the pattern somehow this week. But you know, well, we'll always have readings with Rob, won't we, people? We'll always have readings with Rob. So where do we go next? So we need to look at the Wheel of Time news from this week. And my friends, this week it couldn't have been more perfect news for a podcast. So we've been waiting for so much stuff. You know, we get little photographs from the set. You know, we hear about all the people who are being taken on as extras to do all these like roles and stuff in the film in the TV series. Oh yeah, there's film people. No, just in case you didn't know. You know, you heard it here first. But this week, oh my god, they released for some strange reason an audio trailer. And I'll describe it now so that you can listen to the audio trailer in a second. I'm going to play this very, very awkwardly via my iPad into my microphone, only because my recording thing seems to be playing up a lot, so I can't really use it. But I'll get it fixed for another time, you know, because I like to use that for other things. And yeah, it's just it's very strange. It's a very strange thing. So there's a sort of a weird bubbly pattern going on the screen where there's these white and black patterns, and you know, as you can guess, they all sort of wheel around in a circle and eventually make the sort of the yin and yang style symbol of the Aes Sedai, whatever it's called. Symbol. How many times can I say symbol? God, I wish I had a thesaurus sometimes, but then I'd have to be flicking through the pages looking up other words for symbol. Anagram? No, anagram. Anagram's not a good one. Anyway, let's have a listen, shall we?
You ready? No. Me either.
And that, as they say, is that. I mean, 15 seconds of audio? I mean, who the hell is that? Who's even talking? I mean, it sounds like, I imagine it might be like Egwene, whoever that is. So maybe, is that Madeline Madden? But yeah, I think... oh no, actually, here we go. If only I read the notes in the news article. So it is Madeline Madden who plays Egwene, and she confirms that the two voices are her and Perrin. But we don't really know much else about it, you know? I think a good guess might be Winter's Night during Beltane. But we don't know. It seems so strange to just release a small 15-second audio clip of a TV show. But, you know, perfect for us wee gentlemen podcasters out here. And on another podcasting note, my actual, you know, I'm sorry for all the other Wheel of Time podcasts out there, but my favourite Wheel of Time podcast looks like it's about to return. Yes, people. The Tarvarian is back. No, I mean, it was one of the shows that actually got me to really think about, you know, do I want to do a Wheel of Time podcast? I was like, yeah, I love this stuff. It's Gleeman Radio, so keep an eye out for that. He's about to come back. I think he was halfway through book 1 when he gave up, and I don't know why he gave up, but I've missed him dearly, and I can't wait for him to be back. So, you know, at the risk of losing some of our listeners, fuck it, I love it. I'm going to listen to it anyway, so yeah, who cares? So anyway, guys, that was the TV news, and I would like to say here is a word from our sponsors, but unfortunately Anchor has gone on some sort of weird sponsorship cull and taken them all away. So there is, you know, sponsorships may return in the future, so you may hear an advert now if you're listening in the past, if that makes any sense. But you know, here's some news from our sponsors and from our network.
Hey everyone, Scott here with my good pal Rich. Say hi, Rich.
Hi.
And we're here today to tell you about a podcast we host together with our buddies Jay and Bill. the RPG After Years.
The after what?
The RPG After Years. Our show has entered into a new era of covering everything RPGs, both old and new. Thus it is after its first era. It's the After Years.
I thought RPG was rocket propelled grenade.
No, RPG stands for role-playing game. It's a genre of video game. Every week we go through the latest news and discuss other relevant RPG-related topics. We also review RPGs as we complete them.
So an RPG is not a rabid Portuguese goose?
No, thank God. From Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy to The Witcher and Cyberpunk, we've got RPGs covered from the dawn of time to the far-flung future.
Oh, I've heard of Final Fantasy.
I'd hope so. So check us out on iTunes or whatever your preferred podcast listening platform happens to be. You can also find us at probablywork.com. Level up your podcast feed with the RPG After Years.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you people, I have no idea how you put up with my ramblings week in, week out. Or, sometimes month in, month out, depending on what we do. Or sometimes if we're just walking through the woods doing nothing in particular. Anyway, so this week's episode, we are talking Leavetakings. As in the chapter from the book. I think it's chapter 10. I want to say chapter 10. Chapter 9. Chapter 9 from The Great Hunt, Leavetakings. I am such an awful host. Anyway, so we end up... the whole book, this whole point is set from two people's point of view. This part of the book is set from our lovely gentleman Rand and someone called Bale Dolman, who you may remember Captain Dolman, who was the guy who picked up Rand and Matt when they were escaping the Trollocs from good old Mashadar in that big scary place that they were in, which names just suddenly left my head. Oh god, it's like one of the most important places in the book. Anyway, so he picks them up from the river when they jump in, or jump onto his boat with Tom. It's that guy. So we're going to get a point of view from him, which is interesting. Maybe he's got more to the story that we know of. Dum, dum, dum. But we start off with our good old gentle friend Rand, who's currently being afraid of being gentled. So Rand goes down to the courtyard to see his horse and to make sure he's all ready to leave, because everyone's getting ready for their little mission. And what's the mission, folks? We're going to hunt the horn. The Horn of Valere. So, yes. Oh, man, I've gone completely bonkers today. I need some more coffee. There he meets Loyal. And Loyal tells Rand that he's still basically going to, he's like, hey, Rand, mate, I know you've been being a complete dick the last couple of days. I imagine this is how Loyal speaks. I wouldn't it be good if he was like a really sort of like, really, English common type person. Yeah, Rand, mate, you are absolutely Tarviran. I see the pattern weaving its way around you, bruv. I'm going to stay with you, I'm going to get in there, man. I'm going to be there for you, man. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be there, solid. I'm going to be like a rock stuck to your back, weighing you down. Yeah, anyway, don't know about that. But he tells Rand he's going to follow him, even though they don't know how long it will be. Because Rand even says to him, like, we don't know how long it's going to last this time. And Loyal goes, Rand, I didn't know how long it was going to last last time. And I saw the Green Man. Oh, did you see his dick? Hanging off that tree down the bottom. Oh, man, that tree's balls were huge. Anyway, fuck me, what's wrong with me? And then when Matt and Perrin come down, he tries to apologise to them, and then they just be a dick to him, really. But they're all going in the same direction. They're all part of this same big group. Even if Matt and Perrin won't talk to him for the moment, it's just the sort of thing boys do to each other at that age. You give a little bit of a cold shoulder, and you're like, yeah, he's been a bit of a dick. You're going to be a dick to him. You're going to be a dick back for a couple of days, and then eventually, you'll all have a bit of hanky panky and get over it. That's what you do. Something there for the women to look at. Yes, so they both just turn away from Rand in disgust. No, damn you, Rand. Loyal points out that Rand's coat is also very, very fancy, and Rand has spent a significant amount of time as well pulling certain parts of embroidery out of the coat, trying to make it look less fancy. But unfortunately, good old Moraine has been at him. More importantly, it's the lady folk of Faldara have been changing all of his clothes, but obviously at Moraine's behest. And she's trying to make him look like a bloody king, and he's doing his best to try and not look like one. But because he is looking like one, it's pissing off Matt and Perrin, because they're not kings, and they think he's being a bit of a dick and think he's pretending to be a king. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. Anyway. So, that's probably why they're pissy with him, which I imagine is the case. So Rand, makes a vow to himself. He's like, I'm going to change my clothes the next time we stop. I've definitely got my good old breeches and stuff that were packed into my horse beforehand. And I wonder if they're still there when he gets there. We'll have to find out, won't we? And then at this point, Lan, good old man dragon, he confronts Rand and tells him to sheathe his sword in his own body. Now, spoiler alert. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but oh my god. I love rereading these books and finding things like this that refer to things that happen millions of miles away into the Wheel of Time. You all know how big the series is. He tells him to sheathe the sword, and this is the start of a plot point that doesn't come together for like another 10 books. It's just like, wow. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well done, Robert. Your foreshadowing is amazing. And yeah, it's just basically Lan's just saying, like, the last thing I'll ever have to teach you, Rand, is about sheathing your sword. And Rand's like, I know how to put my sword in its scabbard. You made me pull it in and out 20 times. And that was after we had sex. Anyway. What is wrong with me? Honestly, I just go nuts. As soon as someone puts a microphone in me, it's just filth. Just vomits out on my mouth. I'm glad my wife doesn't listen to this. She'd be absolutely appalled in me. God, what if my girls end up listening to this when they're older? Maybe I should change. All right, I'm going to voice rehab. I'm done. Sorry, I'll see you later, guys. Bye. Baby, come back. Bye. Fuck it. Who am I kidding? I love this shit. Yeah, so sheathing the sword. Something about, sometimes the best way to take down an enemy is to kill yourself. Something along those lines. Yeah, it's just like, if you've got nowhere else to go and there's no other move to make and you can't see any other way of beating your enemy, just let him stab you. Rand's just like, what? And he's like, yep, that's it. I'll see you later, Rand. See you later, Rand. That's my last lesson. Good day to you, young sir. And he walks off. Rand's like, oh, fuck is he on about? I'll be like, yeah, man. And Rand just thinks his land's gone absolutely bonkers and crazy. And he's like, that'll never happen. And just then, the Amyrlin, Swain, she appears, and she's telling Lord Agamar that she will now, that she wants to leave now rather than later. And Agamar is absolutely like, I've got to throw a feast. I've got to show the right respect, man. Like, if everyone finds out you've left one day after turning up here, I'm going to be the laughing stock of the North. I've got to do it. I've got to be the good host of the king. Come on, Swain. I'll get you some bloody fish from right down south, the nicest stuff you can eat. I've got it here. Just come sit with me, just for one evening. And yet she's having none of it. She's like, no, I've got to be back. Stuff's going on. I've sent stuff's going on. Basically, there's just too much going on in the world, and I should have been back long before now. So she's done what she needed to come here for. She just needed to see these 3 Tarviran boys, which she has done. Or that's what she has spread the rumour about that she's done by seeing the 3 Tarviran boys. Even though we know as the reader that she actually only really came to see the 1 Tarviran boy, which is Mr. Al4, being the Dragonian Reborn. Dragonian! So Loyal at this point tells Rand that she's sent a messenger to the Almouth Plain to see what's wrong. And this makes Rand very uncomfortable after reading the bloody note on the wall saying about, I'll meet you on Tommen Head. And because Loyal even goes into the fact that Almouth Plain's been at war with this little bit of land. There's been a war of Tommen Head over this tiny speck of land that they keep disputing over. There's some bad trouble going on there at the moment, Rand, don't you know? I'll have to settle on a type of voice for Loyal at some point. I've done like 5 different things so far. I'll get something out there. So Rand tries to unsuccessfully convince himself it has nothing to do with himself. But obviously, Rand, it's all about you. It's all about you, isn't it, Rand, eh? Yeah, you and your big head, it's all about you and what you want and what you do. So you better sort your fucking shit out, boy. Anyway, the Amyrlin also then tells them that they must retrieve the horn as quickly as possible, and the horn is bound to the sounder. So I think this is a new bit of information dropped on us just here. That the person who blows the horn gets covered in. They are the one the horn gets bound to. So when you sound the horn, it summons like the 100 heroes of the past or some bonkers madness like that, and whoever sounds the horn, those heroes are then bound to, I think, until that person dies. And whoever else, like if someone else was to blow the horn, it would have no effect. So whoever sounds the horn is the horn blower. So, it doesn't have to. So as long as someone on the side of light blows it first, we're in luck. But currently, the dark side has it. Come to the dark side. Rand again feels like someone's watching him. He's always feel like someone's watching. I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I know how to fight. I wanna feel like somebody's watching me. I know how to lie. Anyway, and he turns and he's a horse to look at Dart. My notes make no sense here, but he turns around to his horse for some reason, and he nicks the. Oh no, yes, he turns. Sorry, I wrote the word dart thinking it was the name of his horse. So a dart flies past Rand and nicks the Amyrlin on the arm. So someone has tried to just assassinate the Amyrlin in Faldara Keep, and this blows Lord Agamor's mind. He's just like, oh fuck. How can this happen on my watch, man? On my town, man? This is my town. How can people be trying to assassinate the Amyrlin seat in my town? And he insists that she waits to leave while they search for the assassin. Search for the assassin. Oh, yeah, I forgot Sean Connery died this week. Oh, poor old Sean. Anyway, yeah. Oh, sad times. I mean, let's face it, the guy was 90. He'd already batted out his good innings, which is a really horrible thing to say, apparently. It's ingrained in my soul. All right, too much cricket, too much North London in my blood. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, Sean Connery, man, you're an absolute legend, and you will be sorely missed, my friend. Where was I? Oh yeah, Dart tried to kill the Amyrlin. Agamor's pissy about it. She tells him that it's nonsense and that she will not be delayed. And he says, I think he eventually convinces her to just, take a troop of his men with her at least to the border. She's like, yeah, fuck it, come on in. Anything to shut you up, you little penis. I love the Amyrlin. She doesn't actually say that, but it's something along those lines. So once again, she presses the importance of the hunt before they set out, and Ingtar informs Rand that Changu and Nido are missing. Oh no. And they had the watch last night. Ingtar introduces Rand to Hurin and explains how he will track those who stole the horn. Now this is very, very interesting. So Hurin is a guy who can smell death. But not just death, he can smell violence. Violence, death, all that sorts of, nonsense. And he's the one, so he's basically like, he's got a nose for it. And he said, he even says while explaining it, like, this only started happening like a year or so ago. Just woke up one day and all I could smell was violence and death everywhere. But he's basically he's almost like a greyhound, what's it called? A bloodhound. A bloodhound in the slips. And he can smell, and so he's going to be the one to trace the Trollocs. And he's the one who goes, they went that way. Yeah, they went that way. They went south. And they're like, what? Surely they headed to the Blight. And he's like, nope, they went south. And everyone's like, okay, fuck it, we'll go south. It's just like, you'd have to have so much faith in this guy's nose to just actually go like, okay, Trollocs, Dark Friends, Murdril, they've all broken into this place right near the Blight. And they haven't headed back to the Blight to safety. They've gone south for some reason. Why? Why would they go south? What's the point? So, yeah, he sniffs them out, and south they go. So yeah, what an interesting man. I like Hewing a lot. I think he needs more content in his books. So Robert Jordan, get up, mate. Yeah, I want to rewrite. I want him in. I like him. I know he appears a couple of times, but I want more Hewing. And then this is when we flick over to Bal Dorman's point of view. Now, where do I start with this? So, our good friend Mr. Doman walks into a pub, and he walks up to this guy, and he starts to undo his zipper, undoes his belt, and then he pulls his trousers down really slowly. And then, God, it's enormous.
Did this work? Did I hack into Bill's feed? Did this work? Can you hear me? All right. Sorry, this is Rob. I figured I'd just jump in for a few minutes. It's been a few weeks, and whether or not Bill told you, by the luck of the die roll, he got to do the solo this week. So I decided I'd jump in maybe and just give a few high-level points of my thoughts of the chapter. First off, sorry to leave him with such a beefy chapter solo the other week. Was not my intention. Everything is okay. Everything's good in my life. Just work and life balance and timing. It just hasn't been there. So apologies as always. But this chapter 9, Leavetakings, is one of those transitional chapters. As Bill told me, it's pretty much Rand packing his bags. But there's more in there. Couple notes. I like the fact that Rand gets his first real taste of being in the spotlight when he realizes that the assassination attempt of the Amyrlin may not have been meant for the Amyrlin. Then that's when he starts to get the oh shit, they're after me, aren't they? Kind of vibe. We meet Hurin, interesting character, the smeller of death and decay. Not sure if that's anything I'd want to put on my business card, but he helps. He is another player, another piece on the board in Randland and the Wheel of Time. His abilities to smell dark friends or smell Trollocs and Kevins and all that, I guess is a handy needed ability. One that is definitely used here because I guess he says Padden Fane's smell is like death upon death upon death. It's some if he can smell death, and the smell of Padden Fane is one of the worst smells he'd ever had, Padden has been doing some shit. Padden Fane has seen some shit in his day. And the realization that they aren't going north into the Blight, but are going south. That's where it's kind of the dun 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 suspense, hanging, leave off transition, and we go from the Borderlands to Pirates of the Caribbean. Captain Bale Doman, and we get some backstory. We get a large chunk of backstory for him. Not sure why we get so much of him at this juncture. We learn about sea folk. We learn about his dealings, and he doesn't want to say, he never outright says he's a pirate, but he definitely deals in the quote-unquote import-export business. Maybe some smuggling has happened. He can either confirm or deny that, but he does his shady backwater dealings with some gentlemen who are paying him way more money than he would ever think to see on one job, and his spidey sense is tingling, so he accepts the job, takes the letter that is supposed to be sealed, and says, screw this, I'm going to open it. And of course, it has been a trap to have Bale himself executed. Kind of interesting, kind of deviant trick if you think about it from a high level. Hey, we'll send this guy on this secret double agent secret mission to hand in this sealed envelope, and then he'll get arrested and killed. This will work perfectly. He'll never open it. The wily pirate knows better than that. And he realizes what it is, takes the money, and literally runs. Pack up the ship, we leave now. If they're not on board, fuck them, they're gone. We leave now. Get a little talk of the sea folk and where he wants to go next. Should I go back up to the Riverlands and trading and ice peppers, which is kind of so I've heard that a couple times so far in the book. I wonder what an ice pepper looks like. Maybe it's like baby blue, chop it up, have some ice peppers and sausages. That sounds good. But the chapter ends, or at least with Bale, we end with him pulling out some trinkets that he always owned through his times at sea. And one of the items happens to be a piece of Qualandar with the ancient Aes Sedai Yin and Yang sign on it. By Dar, he has one of the Dark One's own seals. I don't even know if he knows he has it. But once again, he does. So we know that Bail Domon now is a more important part of the piece of the Wheel of Time puzzle than before. And he has stated his case as to be one of the major players if he indeed is holding one of the Dark One's own seals. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plans out. Anyway, I think I'm losing my signal here. I think Bill's finally catched on. I'll talk to you later. Walk on.
And so he walks out. He says, "Thank you very much, Queen Victoria. I don't need it. I'm going back to Randland." And Bail Domon steps back into the TARDIS. And then that's the end of the chapter. Did someone just hear someone say "rock on"? I really hope not. That's really lame. Yeah, anyway. So, man, that thing with Bail Domon was just absolutely bonkers. Like, that journey he went on. Whew, I just didn't realise. And the dinosaurs, wow. Yeah, man, it was just what an absolute bonkers fest. Anyway, that brings an end to the chapter. And here you go, guys. You finally get to listen to your little bit with Rich. Rich? Not the other one? No. Who's the other one? Rob. That's it. God, all you Americans, you just have to all be... Why do all your names begin with R? Rich, Robert, Roberto, Richmundo, Richie, Rich. It's just so annoying. Like, just spread your names out a bit. Have a bit of diversity. Come on, people. Come on, Americans. Name your children something, or your boy children something that doesn't begin with R, please. Unless it's Rambo, that's fine. I've got no problems with that. Or I think all children in America from now on, all boys, should be called Rambo. Yeah? Okay? Yeah? Do you hear me? Biden, Trump, whoever wins, you've got to go in the Constitution. I've spoken, all right? Random British guy. Told you. Do it now. So, that brings it into our chapter. And like I say, here is Readings with El Robbo. El Robbo, Rambo.
And now, the Taviren present to you Readings with Rob.
Chapter 9. Leavetakings. Agelmar, stand up! Stand up, Lord of Faldara! You have not failed me, and you have no reason for shame. Last year in the White Tower, with my own guards at every gate and warders all around me, a man with a knife came within 5 steps of me. A white cloak, no doubt, though I've no proof. Please stand up, or I will be shamed. As Agelmar slowly rose, she fingered her sliced sleeve. A poor shot for a white-cloaked bowman, or even a dark friend. Her eyes flickered up to touch Rand's. If it was at me he aimed. Her gaze was gone before he could read anything on her face, but he suddenly wanted to dismount and hide. It wasn't aimed at her, and she knows it. Leanne straightened from where she had been kneeling. Someone had laid a cloak over the face of the man who had taken the arrow.
He is dead, Mother.
She sounded tired.
He was dead when he struck the ground, even if I had been at his side.
You did what you could, daughter. Death cannot be healed. Agelmar moved closer.
Mother, if there are white cloak killers about or dark friends, you must allow me to send men with you, as far as the river at least. I could not live if harm came to you in Shanir. Please return to the women's apartments. I will see them guarded with my life until you are ready to travel.
Be at ease, she told him. This scratch will not delay me a moment. Yes, I will gladly accept your men as far as the river if you insist. But I will not let this delay Lord Ingtar for a moment either. Every heartbeat counts until the horn is found again. Your leave, Lord Agelmar.
To order your oathman? He bowed his head in assent. At that moment he would have given her Faldara, had she asked. The Amerlin turned back to Ingtar, and the men gathered behind him. She did not look at Rand again. He was surprised to see her smile suddenly. I'll wager Ilion does not give its great hunt of the horn so rousing a send-off, she said. But yours is the true great hunt. You are few, so you may travel quickly, yet enough to do what you must. I charge you, Lord Ingtar of House Shinoa, I charge all of you, find the horn of Valair, and let nothing bar your way. Ingtar whipped his sword from his back and kissed the blade. By my life and soul, by my house and honor, I swear it, mother! Then ride!
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at TavirenPod with your request.
And there you have it, people. Readings with Rambo Roboto. Rambo Robo Richo. So, I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. Sorry again for the delay. You know, I'm going to keep saying that a lot. You know, it won't be daylight saving times every week. And me and Rob do have a fairly robust schedule when, when the clocks align, unfortunately. But thank you for coming back anyway. Thank you for listening. And, so what do we have for you guys next week? We have Chapter 10, finally, of The Great Hunt. The Hunt begins. Yes, people. The hunt begins. And it's an entire chapter set from Rand's viewpoint. So we get some more thoughts of the Dragon Reborn and whatever else is going on in that battered old head of his. Now, again, thank you guys for showing some love by giving us our iTunes review this week. It'll be very good if you could keep the iTunes reviews coming in. It really does help promote the show out there in the whatever algorithm that Apple Podcasts use and all the other podcasting apps as well. Whatever you want to do, if you want to leave us a review in Discord, if you want to leave us a review via email at TavirenPod, please do so. We'd love to hear from you guys. Criticism is welcome, although it will be shat upon. Only by me. Rob will take it on board. So yeah, as I mentioned, there's a Discord. Come join the Discord and we'll point you towards better Discords, because I have all the resources to do so easily via copy and paste, but I don't have it to put in my show notes because I'm too lazy for that. So yeah, come join us on Discord, or even if you want, you can actually talk to us on Discord. Bonkers world that we live in, you could do that. So no excuse, you can come talk to us if you want. Again, the network itself is still going through its Podcasters Assemble season. Don't forget, if you are a resident of Maine, to go out and vote for Pete Bourgelat, who is running for state representative of Housing District 1 something Darkside. Anyway, if you've got a choice to vote for Pete Bourgelat or Tom Schofield, you're in that right place. Don't vote for Tom. He's got a questionable voting record at the House. Or the representative thing. I don't really understand US politics that well. But yeah, go vote for Pete Bourgelat, please, please, please. Man is a legend. I love the guy to bits. So vote for Pete. And yep, we are on YouTube. Again, unfortunately, only book 1 is currently on YouTube. I'm not doing a very good job of getting our show out back onto YouTube. So I will hopefully get there one day soon. But there are so many places you can show your love and support for the Taviren podcast, people. We are here for you almost every week. You can be there for us. Just show us some love. We even have a Patreon. I always forget about the Patreon. If you do want to catch the show a little bit early, it'd be good if we could just get them out on time. You can come for us an extra couple of bucks or two on Patreon, as well as some extra bonus content. Now, my throat is getting really, really dry. I feel like one of the Myrtles looking at me. Oh no, it's Rich. He's completed his transformation to a Myrtle. The island is fair. It is fair. Bye, everyone.
As we march further on into the adventures of the Great Hunt, we take a quick peek into each of the minds of the 3 farm boys from 2 Rivers to see where their heads are at the moment. Wow, Perrin is so good talking to women. The way he handled Egwene, I wish I could do that. Man, I wish I was as good at women as Perrin. Man, Rand seems to know what he's talking about with them women. I wish I was able to be as good talking with women as he is.
man, I see Rand and I see Perrin and Lewith, they're talking to women. Boy, I wish I could talk to women like that. The only thing I'm good at is making women mad. I only make women pissed off.
Matt really has a way with women. I don't know how he gets away with it, but I wish I had that same ability to talk to women like he does. I can't believe the way Matt talked to that woman. It worked out beautifully. I just get stuck in my words and they think I'm just slow, but man, Matt really has a way with the women.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
@ProbablyWork for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.